Okay, let's do one more problem. One problem that is considered tough by a lot of students. Actually, this question is not really that tough, but because this question is involving a lot of fractions, then a lot of students, when they saw these questions, they tend to skip it. This is from Spring 2010, Math 115, Test 3, number 19. Now let's see. This system of equations, if we can calm down and think about this, the issue is, again, the fractions. Now, instead of skipping this question, let's think what we can do to each one of these that will simplify the situation. Now, one of the key ingredients in solving the system by elimination method is the fact that we can multiply this equation by a certain number and we still come up with an identical equation. Now let me show you what we can do. Let's say I multiply the top one by the LCD of this equation, which is 12. You will see that multiplying this equation by 12, the first equation by 12, will eliminate the denominators. In fact, you will see that we will eliminate the fractions, I should say. Let's say 3/4 times 12 will be 9x minus 1/3 times 12 is 4y equals to 5/6 times 12 is 10. Okay, now if you have hard time to imagine what I do here, let me grab another paper. Think this way. Let's say 3/4 times 12. That's 9. Right? Think of that 12 kills the 4, and you have 3 multiplied by 3 give me 9. Okay? 1/3 times 12. You reduce, you get 4. And 5/6 times 12 give you 10. Right? Now let's try again. The LCD of the second equation here, the LCD of 3 and 6 and 4, I believe that's the same 12, happen to be the same. And 2/3 times 12, you can do it on your scratch paper. There will be 8x. 1/6 times 12, that will be 2y. And negative 3/4 times 12, that's negative 9. Okay, now what happened here, we now have another system of equation in which each equation here is identical to each one of these equations. Now we will continue working on this to solve this, because both of them are in general forms. Let's continue with addition method. The y seems to have a very nice structure already. Let's multiply this by 1 and this one here by 2. Okay, so the first adjustment I did is to get rid of the fractions. The second adjustment is to have the same opposite coefficients for the y. Here this becomes 9x minus 4y equals to 10. 16x plus 4y equals negative 18, which if I add, that will give me 25x equals to negative 8, x equals to negative 8 over 25. Okay, now what I will do next is to find y. What we usually do, we substitute, we take either one of these equations and we replace the x by this value and so for y, right? But because this x is a fraction, it may be better for us to redo this system we take it from the modified one, and instead of eliminating the y, we will now eliminate the x. I will multiply this by 8 and this one by -9. That gives me 72x minus 32y equals to 80, and negative 72x minus 18y equals to positive 81, which, if I add, that gives me negative 50y equals to 161, y equals to negative 161 over 50. Okay, now finally we will summarize this. So x and y equals to negative 8 over 25, negative 161 over 50. Okay, now you see, it's actually about the first step. How do we get rid of those fractions? Once we get rid of those fractions, we can work on that the way we did before. Okay.